Alright, first up we're going to be making this little small accent table with fairy lights in it. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is find a piece of cardboard or a piece of foam board, and you're going to want to cut a piece out of that. This is going to go underneath the mirror to kind of help us stabilize on top of the vase. So after you get that cut out, I'm just going to take the top of the vase and use it as a stencil and draw around that, and I'm going to use this as a base, like I said, again, for the underside of the mirror. And this will help stabilize it, so that way if you do put like a piece of jewelry or some kind of accent on there, it will help it create like a little plug effect. So cut that out. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, it's going to go on the bottom, and you might have to even readjust it. I did, after filming this, kind of adjust it down just a little smaller to make it fit perfect, because it does have to be a little smaller than the opening of the glass. So after that's cut out, I'm just gonna open this mirror. I love these mirrors. They have 3 different sizes at the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to pipe on a bunch of, this is actually Gorilla Glue hot glue. I really don't see a difference, but I'm going to put that onto there and let that cure for a second, let that harden up. And while that's hardening up, I'm going to add my rocks and my lights. I thought it'd be kind of cool. They had 2 different kinds of rocks at the glass pebbles at the Dollar Tree. One with clear and green, and then one just clear. So I'm also going to unstring my fairy lights. Once again, I got these guys off Amazon. I got these in a pack of 12 for $12. I'll link them below. They're great. They have metal in them, and they also work on a really small watch batteries, which I really like that too. But they do have, oh, my ring fell. They do have fairy lights at the Dollar Tree that run on AA batteries too. So I'm just going to stick these in. They do not have to be perfect. They're going to be covered in rocks. And throw whatever rocks in. Like I said, I'm going to use these green and white ones first, and I'm kind of just going to gradient them to a clear. I found with this, I did get 4 bags of rocks, and I did use almost all of them. I think I used like 3 bags and maybe like a quarter of another one. So you could probably get away with just using 3 bags. And once again, this is a Dollar Tree craft, so this is so cheap. This is going to be like under $10 for you to make, and just add a little something to your room. So once you have that full with all your rocks, and you also want to leave, mind you want to leave a little room to put that light switch in there. So don't fill all the way to the top, and you also want a little space for that plug. So once you have that nice and snug on top, you're all done. And there it is. It's perfect to sit a little jewelry on or something like that. Here, right here, you just open it up, click the light on, so it's kind of like a nice little night light. Be great next to the bed if, you know, at night you want to put your ring on there or something just really simple. It's really just like an accent table. This would be great too for a centerpiece for a table or event, a table at an event. Even dorm decor would be perfect for just something really quick and easy next to your bed in your dorm room if you need a little light. But this is just really quick and easy craft to do. And another quick and easy craft, I picked up these clothespins, these smaller ones, and using those fairy lights again, and some rope, simple rope, and I'm gonna make a little kind of photo garland with this. Really simple and really easy to do and customize to your liking. So right here, I'm just going to cut off the little plastic bit at the end of the rope. I just opened it up and creating like a little knot, kind of this nautical vibe. And then once you have just like a just simple knot, and a length that you want that matches up with the fairy lights. I think it's about like 20 inches, those fairy lights. I'm going to cut it off with a little excess so I can create another little knot. Making a little knot. And then once you have both your little knots, you necessarily don't have to do that first, but it just kind of helped me guide where I'm putting my wire. But after you have that, you're simply just going to wrap your wire. You're going to kind of leave the battery pack hanging. You'll see why in a minute. And this really is just simple. You're just going to wrap it up. It does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be super, super tight. You don't want it super loose. But really, we're just embellishing this rope. So once that's done, then we're going to take our clothespins and use a little bit of hot glue on the back of them. I'm going to put this one in front of the battery pack so we can hide it. And I spaced these out, I would say about maybe like about 6 inches ish. And you could space them out as much as you want. You could put more in. I'm spacing these out so I could put little Polaroid photos. So I kept that in mind when I was spacing them. I think I spaced that one a little too far, but you get the idea. So just sticking those on, this is super quick. Once again, super easy. This would be great to do with kids, you know, to decorate their room. This could be another great dorm room idea, above your desk, or if you somewhere you just want a little light and something kind of festive to look at. You know, you have these fairy lights and then some pictures that you really like. I think it turned out really well, and it's just a really quick and easy craft to add a little more of you to your space. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Alright, and for the next craft, we're going to once again use those mirrors. I picked up one of each size, and then I also, this rope I got from the Dollar Tree. They have that in little bundles. I thought it'd be perfect for this project. We're going to make some little kind of rustic mirrors. I really love this look with the rope on there. Super simple. Again, we're going to make some knots with this, and I'm just kind of adjusting. I'm kind of just eyeing how I want the rope to go and how high I want it. So that's all up to you. You can kind of adjust it to your liking. You want to make sure that you do leave enough space to create this little knot on top. So that's something to keep in mind too there. Now, once you have both your knots on there on the sides, you want to kind of adjust it and then add this little top knot to there. I kind of just fit it on there and eyeballed it because once again we're kind of just going for a rustic feel. And then you don't have to necessarily, like you can kind of see, like they don't have to necessarily be perfect. They're not twins. You can kind of think of them as like sisters or cousins, you know, and I think that really adds to this kind of rustic farmhouse, kind of nautical feel to them, you know, like it's not perfect, it's kind of a utilitarian vibe. So once you have those all the way that you like and adjusted, now we're going to attach them. And to attach these guys, we're just simply going to use more hot glue. I'm going to use a little more of this hot glue, Gorilla Glue. And you just put a little bit on. I let it sit first, so I kind of just went and did each side of these mirrors, like one side each, so that way the first side could kind of attach and it could cure it a little bit before I added more hot glue. I found this to be the easiest way to do it, you know, so you have a little time and you don't burn your fingers from having a whole bunch of hot glue all at once and your rope's not falling around everywhere. So just attaching, you know, maybe like a dime size amount of hot glue there, because you also don't want to see a whole bunch of hot glue when you have these hanging up. You know, you kind of want the rope to hide it, and I feel like the strip of hot glue that comes out is the perfect size to hide the rope. It's just a little thicker. So here, I'm just adding more hot glue, after it cooled a little bit, and I found that if you rolled it a little forward, then that helps hide the hot glue even more. So you lay the hot glue down, and then when you put your rope onto there, you kind of just roll the rope forward just a little bit, and that's gonna like roll in front of the hot glue a little bit so you can hide it. But I feel really, because this is a clear hot glue and it's going on black and it's a rope, you just have to get really close to even see that you hot glued it. You know, from where they're gonna be, I'm guessing probably where you're gonna put them. No one's gonna really notice, the hot glue there. So I'm just finishing these guys up, adding the hot glue to this last two right here. And I did, when I do the second side, I do add like a strip, and then I do that little dime size at the end of it, because at this point we now have the one whole side stable, so there's not as much fear as moving around, and you can easily do like a long, almost like an exclamation point, like a long strip, and then a little dime sized dot at the other end. Here we are with the last one, just adding that strip there and rolling it forward so we're hiding if there's any glue. Now I did have a couple swipes of hot glue on these mirrors, but really, and a little bit of jute rope, but once they dry, we're gonna clear them off and you won't see any of that. And they're all done right there. And here we have them hung up. Now I just use some clear push pins actually to hang these guys up, and I love that because you can't tell that they're there, but I can see some rustic nail or something in there holding them up. And these guys are perfect for like a little accent in the room to pull some light from one area to the other. I could see them for a jewelry kind of area like we have right here with our table that we just made. It kind of pulls both of them together, and just a really quick, cheap, easy accent for your room. Oh, you made it to the end. Well, then you should hit subscribe so you don't miss out on anything.